Tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it
he's
goes to
going
54, and now he's going to
68.
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
But Terrence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim.
Joe Rogan has issued a major warning ahead of the Canelo vs. Crawford fight. Rogan believes Canelo's sharper hands and power could cause serious damage. With both fighters carrying big advantages, this matchup is shaping up to be one of boxing's biggest tests. Joe Rogan didn't just focus on Canelo's strengths, he also spoke about Crawford's move through the weight classes. He explained that going from 147 to 168 is a big leap, but Crawford has handled it carefully. Rogan mentioned Crawford's wrestling mentality, his steady training, and the way he built himself up over time, showing he's been preparing for this Canelo fight for a long while.
Tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump to go from 54, which was a step up from 47, right?
Now
so it goes to
to
54, and now he's going to
68.
68. That's so much weight.
A lot of weight.
But Terrence is, I think he's the best switch hitter since Hagler.
They claim Hagler was my favorite. They claim he's walking around like a $190 or something, and you do know he's a wrestler.
Yep.
So he's got that mentality to him.
He also built up slowly. Like he took his time. Like it's been a long time training for this fight. He came on this podcast more than a year ago, and he was talking about that's the fight he wants.
Nice.
And that was a long time ago.
I remember.
So he's been trying to get that fight for a long time. So knowing after he beat Errol Spence that he wasn't ever going to fight at that weight again, and then going up fighting Madrimov, and then knowing he's got like at least a year before he fights Alvarez, he got pretty big.
Yeah.
Rogan then went on to highlight Crawford's ring IQ and unique ability to set traps for opponents. He explained that Crawford doesn't just rely on speed, but on smart tactics that catch fighters off guard. Still, Rogan reminded listeners that Canelo brings a different kind of danger. With proven knockout power and an iron chin, Rogan stressed that Canelo has ended fights brutally before, showing how risky this matchup truly is.
Slick, man. He's slick. He's super intelligent. Like, he sets traps. He does stuff, and then, you know, there's a bunch of great breakdown videos of particularly the Errol Spence fight, like him setting traps. It's just, he's a very high-level guy, but Canelo is dangerous. He broke Billy Joe Saunders' whole face. What he did to Amir Khan, remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lordy.
Embarrassed
Oh, lordy. And never been down. Never been dropped.
Yeah, Canelo's a stud.
Adding on, Regis Prograis began by comparing Crawford and Canelo's size difference. He explained that looking bigger at weigh-ins doesn't always translate once punches start flying, where opponents seemed larger on paper but struggled against Canelo's natural strength. He made it clear that Crawford, while highly skilled, could face the same reality once inside the ring, where size and natural weight play a much bigger role.
From the press conferences and what you personally know from boxing?
I feel like, man, really both of them. I was watching the skull fight the other night. You know, I think that Crawford has the ability to outbox Canelo. You gotta look at it. And then Canelo's older. Crawford has the ability, but he's small, you know, and he can look bigger Crawford could look bigger in the weigh-ins and all that stuff, but it's always a difference. When you get that fight with somebody, you can tell. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel fought him, the twin. He fought Crawford, and in all the stuff, the weigh-ins and the press conference, Jamel looked like the bigger man. You know, his head, his neck, everything looked bigger. But when they got in the fight, you can tell. You can see who really was the bigger man. And I think that's the same thing. Crawford is putting on weight, but it's not weight. Like Canelo had the weight already. He doesn't have to put on muscle. He doesn't have to do that.
Prograis then emphasized the difference between adding muscle and being naturally strong. He explained that while Crawford may bulk up for the fight, Canelo's frame and power are already built in. Regis admitted Crawford's style could trouble Canelo like fighters such as Floyd Mayweather and Bivol once did, but the challenge comes with durability. He raised doubts about how Crawford will react when Canelo's heavy shots land cleanly in the ring.
Have to do that. He's already big like that. But I think that Crawford does have the style. He does have the style to beat him. If you look at the people that beat him or gave him troubles, Irislan, DeLaura, Austin Trout, Floyd, and Bivol, you know, they gave him trouble and stuff like that. And Skull moved around a little bit too. So I think that Crawford has that. but I don't know how Crawford is gonna respond when he gets hit. Same thing with Jamel. Jamel was a 54. Jamel was undisputed at 154, and Canelo hit him and shit. Jamel was like, hell no. Jamel took a knee. You know, so it's a big difference. And Crawford had that one fight at 154, and he didn't. You know, Madrimov would touch him up a little bit. And this is nowhere close to Madrimov. You talk about Canelo. Now, if it was just another bigger guy.
Finally, Prograis gave his honest verdict. He admitted Crawford's skills are elite, but argued that Canelo's punch resistance and proven greatness make the difference. Regis even called Canelo one of the best Mexican fighters ever. While acknowledging both men are aging, he doubted Crawford could handle the physical gap. He added that if Crawford does pull it off, it would rank among the most impressive wins in boxing history.
I will go with Crawford, but you talk about this might be, I mean, people might kill me for it, but well, not really, but this might be the best Mexican fighter ever. One of them, at least, right? You talk about Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. Now, a lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man, I think he on the Mount Rushmore of fighters if Crawford can pull this off. But I don't see it.
Furthermore, after Regis Prograis shared his take, Antonio Tarver added his perspective on the magnitude of the Canelo versus Crawford matchup. He stressed that this fight is on another level compared to others. Tarver pointed out that both fighters are elite, and while fans debate skill and size, the stakes are enormous. He framed it as a true test for both Canelo and Crawford inside the ring.
Fight in the top 10. So let's get him in there with somebody in the top 10.
That's one from me, Antonio. Canelo Crawford. I just want to get your thoughts on that fight, please. We're only a few weeks away now.
Yeah, it's a major fight, man. The biggest in a long time. If you've been following Tarver's take, you know I'm Bud counting all the way. But this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which.
Following Tarver's analysis, Andy Ruiz shared his thoughts on the upcoming Canelo versus Crawford fight. He acknowledged that both fighters are elite, emphasizing Canelo's power and experience, while also recognizing Crawford's skill set and movement. Ruiz pointed out the challenge Canelo faces as a right-handed fighter against a lefty like Crawford.
I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. I'm going for Canelo, of course. You know, he's the Mexican warrior as well, and for Crawford, man, you can't neglect him or you can't underestimate him as well. You know, he has a lot of skills, a lot of movement. He's a lefty as well. That's what Canelo has trouble with. I think it's going to be an amazing fight, man. I just can't wait, and the best man wins.
After Andy Ruiz shared his take, Kenny Porter discussed the challenge Canelo faces moving up in weight to fight Crawford. Porter highlighted that the jump in weight isn't just another step, it's a major climb that tests strength, speed, and endurance. He explained that while Canelo is skilled, moving to a higher division requires careful adjustment, and the matchup will push him to navigate obstacles he hasn't faced before.
Of course Canelo, but I don't know why, but I mean, that's a great choice.
Yeah. Right? It's just the weight jumps, you know?
The weight jump is a hell of a jump, man. That's not just a jump. He's
And
climbing a ladder. He's climbing a ladder, and some of the legs on the ladder ain't there for him to grab on.
It's his first
and he got to jump over a ladder.
Oh, I gotta clear the air on something. Someone put a video of Usyk sparring some random dude, and they claimed it was you, and I said, what's wrong with you guys?
Moving on, Hamza Shiraz talked about his chance to fight Canelo, saying he's done enough to earn it. He stressed staying focused and ready for whoever comes his way. Shiraz then shared his view on the Canelo versus Crawford fight, predicting that the first 6 rounds will be close, but Canelo's experience and skill will let him take over and control the fight in the later rounds.
So, I expect it to be a very competitive fight, though. I do.
Definitely. Just before I let you go, obviously your last performance, spectacular performance. Who's the next? Could it be Canelo?
It could be. It could be. I feel like I've done what's required of me to earn that fight. Some people might disagree, but I believe I've done enough. And it's about staying switched on, staying concentrated, and just beating whoever they put in my way.
How do you expect his fight with Terence to go in September?
I expect the fight to be very competitive for the first 6 rounds, and then Canelo to take over and dominate.
Meanwhile, turning attention to the physical side of the fight, Madrimov highlighted the importance of weight in the Canelo versus Crawford matchup. He explained that moving up or adding extra weight can change how the fight plays out. Madrimov stressed that while Crawford has the skills to compete, the size difference could be decisive, and Canelo's power might even lead to a stoppage if Crawford isn't careful.
Если 12 раундов, вот ты так говорил, вот, если не лишний вес Крофордом, то можно 50 на 50. Крофорд тоже можно выиграть, и Канело тоже. Если он больше набирает, то тяжело будет, и Канело можно даже досрочно тоже можно выиграть.
Adding on, Dmitry Bivol shared his first thoughts on Crawford moving up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo. He noted the size difference and wondered if Crawford could handle it. After seeing Crawford in Dubai, Bivol said he looked big and skilled. Crawford is one of his favorite fighters, and while he can win...
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah? Or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able to win this fight. But there is a lot of but, and even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know.
Bivol explained that Crawford must get used to Canelo's power and the 168-pound weight class. How he handles training camp and fight day will be very important. Despite the challenges, Crawford's skills, awkward style, and ability to switch stances give him advantages. Bivol emphasized that these traits make Crawford dangerous, even against a bigger and stronger opponent like Canelo.
Which we don't know how he will deal with this. He needs to get used to the power and pressure of 168 because it's different, big difference, to be honest. Maybe he will get used to it, and how he will be feeling himself on the same day when he will fighting, how his training camp will go on, a lot of things. But he's able, he has good skills, he's awkward, he can use 2 boxing stance. It gives him benefits, of course.
Furthermore, Eric Gomes talked about Crawford gaining weight for the Canelo fight. He said it's unclear if the extra weight will help or hurt him. Gomes pointed out that Crawford avoided other fights at higher weights and only chose Canelo. Moving up is a big challenge, and while Crawford might have some advantage, facing a top fighter like Canelo is still risky.
160 or above. There's a reason why he only wanted to move up for only Canelo. So for me, I feel like you and your team believe there's something sweet with Canelo, or because he's not the biggest at 168 and he's flat-footed, you know what I mean? He has slow feet in quicksand, concrete shoes, right? You feel you could do something with him. But even that is still a tall order because a lot of people are sleeping on Canelo is a good fighter. See, boxing is a passion sport.
Gomes then warned not to underestimate Canelo. He said boxing requires skill and smart choices, not just passion, explaining that knowing the game and learning from others is key, even if Crawford seems bigger or faster. Canelo's skill and toughness make him very dangerous in the ring.
A tall order because a lot of people are sleeping on Canelo is a good fighter. See, boxing is a passion sport. I'm all for passion, but I'm not for stupidity, right? You have a lot of people, I've pioneered this game. Everybody knows Boxing Ego. They all watch me, even if they don't claim it. They all watch me. I see my DNA through the game. They all my sons, bro. You watch other content creators, they'll do what I've already done. Or I change my thumbnail, they'll change their thumbnail. Change my title, they change, and so on and so forth. So everybody knows the brand at this point. We're multi-platform. What can I say? I done a hell of a job.
Moving on, Robert Garcia explained that Canelo doesn't go all out for knockouts anymore. In his recent fights, he does just enough to win. Even when he dropped Munguia, he chose to conserve energy. Although Canelo isn't old, years of fighting and sparring have taken a toll. Managing his body helps him stay strong for future big fights.
Look, it's just Canelo doesn't go out for the knockout anymore. Canelo's just now, we've seen in the last few fights, he just does enough to win. He did the same again, Munguia. He dropped Munguia, but then they didn't want to finish him. Charlo, Berlanga. He wants to cruise through the fight. He's up there, in not in age because he's only like 33 or 34, but he's
fighting since 15.
15. A lot of training camps, a lot of sparring matches. So all that takes a lot out of your body. So he takes care of his body too. So he doesn't go all out because he doesn't want to just finish his body. He knows he still has a few more years and a few big fights where he wants to take care of himself.
Furthermore, Bivol explained that fighting Canelo isn't just about handling his punches. It's also about mental readiness. If a fighter is unprepared or scared, their body reacts weakly. Even if Crawford is at a lower weight, being focused and confident will help him take punches without losing strength. Mental toughness is as important as skill in staying effective throughout the fight.
You know, it's not about only getting used to the power, and it's also about be mentally ready. Because when people are not prepared them mentally, they like afraid or scared. You become weak, your body become weak, when something happened and it's something new and you wasn't ready for this. We all know these feelings, like the body become melting, like just soft, and mentality is very important also for this fight. Even his one weight class or two weight class lower, if he's mentally ready, he will be ready to get these punches. And
Bivol continued, saying that Canelo's opponents often struggle because of mindset, not weight. Fighters who panic early usually lose control. Mental toughness separates those who survive from those who falter. In Canelo's fights, confidence and focus have made a huge difference. Staying calm under pressure can decide the fight, showing that mental strength can be just as crucial as skill or size.
And be okay with this. He could be good. At the same time, we saw how Canelo was fighting against another guys like Charlo, maybe Smith, Callum Smith. And we saw the huge difference. I think it's not because of weight class; it's about mentality of the opponents.
That's interesting because, as you say, sometimes you see a fighter take on a big challenge and early in the fight they seem to panic, and as soon as you see them panic, you know that it's over.
Canelo versus Crawford fight is shaping up to be one of the biggest matchups in boxing recently. Canelo brings incredible punching power, years of experience, and a proven ability to withstand tough opponents. He has faced elite fighters before and knows how to control fights with skill and timing. Crawford, on the other hand, has speed, high ring IQ, and the ability to switch tactics mid-fight. His preparation and mental focus are key strengths, but he also faces challenges moving up in weight against a naturally bigger and stronger opponent. Experts point out that size, weight adjustments, and mental toughness will all play critical roles in deciding who comes out on top. While Crawford has the skills to trouble Canelo, the Mexican star's power and precision make him extremely dangerous in every round. Who do you think will win, Canelo with his power or Crawford with his speed and strategy? Comment below with your prediction.